All right, so buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into a world where reality gets a little, well, weird.
Definitely weird.
We're talking about the SCP Foundation.
Yeah, you know them, right?
The folks who catalog and contain all those things that science can't quite explain.
They deal with all the stuff that bends or breaks or just completely obliterates the laws of nature.
And believe me, they've got some pretty wild stories.
Tons.
But today we're focusing on one particular anomaly.
One that's particularly creepy.
SCP-002.
You familiar with it?
Just imagine this. A fleshy, tumorous growth. Like something out of a nightmare.
Huge, too.
Yeah, we're talking the size of a small apartment building.
And get this, on one side of this thing, there's an iron hatch.
Okay, hold on. An iron hatch on a fleshy growth. Where does that lead?
Inside.
Inside, like into the growth itself.
It gets weirder.
I'm almost afraid to ask.
Inside is a fully furnished apartment.
What? Like a normal apartment? With furniture and everything?
Well, kinda.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Imagine, furniture crafted from bone, carpets woven from human hair.
Okay, that's officially creepy.
The lighting fixtures are, let's just say there's something else entirely.
It's like someone took the idea of organic architecture and went way too far.
It's definitely unsettling.
So how did the SCP Foundation even find this thing?
So there's this document. It's called the Mulhausen Report.
Mulhausen?
It's named after the general who led the initial containment team.
Okay.
Apparently, this thing crash-landed in Portugal.
Crash landed, like from space.
It was embedded in a shell of rock. Some farmer stumbled across it.
I can't even imagine what that must have been like.
I bet that farmer never looked at a rock the same way again.
So the Foundation comes in, right? They're the ones who deal with this kind of thing?
They sent in a team, but things didn't go so well.
What happened?
3 of the team members who went inside, they just vanished.
Vanished. Like disappeared without a trace.
Gone.
What do you think happened to them?
The report doesn't really say, but it does hint at SCP-002 having some kind of effect on living humans.
An effect.
This isn't just some passive structure.
So it's not just creepy looking, it's actually dangerous.
It seems to interact or maybe even react to human presence.
We're talking about something that potentially feeds on human life force.
It might be.
What did this General Mulhausen do?
Well, he issued a Level 4A termination order.
A termination order? For who?
They eliminated about a third of a nearby village.
What? Why?
To ensure secrecy, you know. The Foundation, they take their motto seriously. Secure, contain, protect.
Wow. Talk about extreme measures. So they wiped out a village to cover up this thing.
It gives you an idea of how seriously they take this threat.
And that's not even the end of it.
Oh no, it gets worse.
Tell me.
While they were preparing SCP-002 for transport, 4 more security personnel disappeared.
4 more. Just like that.
And here's the really creepy part.
There's more.
After those 4 vanished, new furniture appeared inside the apartment.
New furniture? Where did it come from?
It looks like it was made from, well, you can probably guess.
No way. You're telling me they became part of the furniture?
It's a disturbing thought.
More than disturbing, it's terrifying. So this thing, it doesn't just affect people who go inside?
No, it seems to have some kind of reach, some way of influencing things from a distance.
So we've got a fleshy blob that houses a bizarre bone furniture showroom and seems to have an insatiable appetite for living humans.
And that's just the beginning.
Okay, I'm officially creeped out. Where do we go from here?
Well, to understand this thing, we need to understand how the Foundation tries to contain it. And trust me, the precautions they take are anything but ordinary.
So, okay, containment. What are we talking about here? Is this thing buried under a mountain somewhere?
You'd think that right.
Maybe locked in a vault with, like, lasers and armed guards?
More high-tech, actually.
High-tech, eh? What do they, like, feed it data or something?
Constant power supply.
Oh, what?
Some kind of force field.
And, okay, force field, that makes sense.
Emergency barriers.
Okay.
They slam shut if anything,
Yeah.
goes wrong.
So layers of protection, like a high-security prison for weird, fleshy things.
And X-rays.
Yeah.
UV light, too. Strobing it.
Seriously. Like it's some kind of, I don't know, alien nightclub or something.
Intense, right.
What's all that for? Is it, like, vulnerable to light?
Could be.
And remember those personnel, the ones who vanished? What
No.
are they doing to prevent, more of that?
Buddy system.
Buddy system.
No one goes near it alone.
Oh, okay.
Always got to maintain physical contact.
You're kidding.
He even says that being close to this thing causes perceptual distortions.
Perceptual distortion.
Like messing with your head.
So this isn't just A physical threat.
You think about it.
Yeah.
Constant X-rays, the UV light,
Uh,
could be vulnerable to certain wavelengths, right?
sure.
But also that perceptual distortion thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it exerts some kind of, I don't know, influence on human perception.
Wow. That's a whole other level of creepy.
Psychological, even.
Okay, so limited access, obviously.
Big time.
Like how limited? Can just any researcher wander in there?
Only level 3 personnel and above.
Right.
Even then, they got to, jump through hoops.
Really?
High-ranking officials, they got to temporarily surrender their rank and clearance.
What?
Escorted by armed guards. 72-hour quarantine.
No kidding.
Full psych evaluation.
All that just to get a glimpse of this thing.
It's serious business.
Clearly, they're not messing around with this.
I mean, the Mulhausen incident, right?
Yeah.
That shook them up.
It makes you think.
What is it about us?
Yeah, about living humans.
It triggers this thing?
They tested it on other things, right?
Animals, even cadavers.
Nothing.
No effect.
So it's not just like organic matter.
Nope.
Something specific to living humans.
That's the key.
Do they have any theories about, like, what it could be?
Oh, there's plenty of speculation.
Like what?
Some think maybe it's drawing some kind of energy.
Okay.
Energy that's unique to living beings.
So it's feeding on us somehow.
Maybe. Or a psychic component.
Psychic. Like it's reading our minds or something.
Some kind of consciousness or awareness.
So it's not just feeding on us, it's aware of us. It's like watching us.
It's all conjecture.
So we've got a light-sensitive, potentially mind-altering, flesh-eating apartment building.
You forgot to be your furniture out of human remains.
Right, that too. This is getting creepier by the minute.
And the really scary part is, we have no idea why.
Why?
What's the purpose of those furnishings?
Right.
Is it luring people in?
On purpose?
Is it even aware of what it's doing?
Or is it just like some kind of biological process that we don't understand?
That's the question.
I mean, if it's aware,
Yeah.
that's a whole different story.
Definitely.
That's not just creepy. That's like a whole new level of terrifying.
It suggests,
What?
intelligence, a purpose,
Like
and
it's thinking, planning.
the thought of something creating, furniture out of human remains.
Makes my skin crawl.
And it brings up another question.
Okay.
If it only reacts to living humans,
Yeah.
is the Foundation's approach, the isolation, the limited contact,
Yay.
is that the right way to go?
That's a good point. Maybe they're making it worse by cutting it off,
Like starving a beast?
which just makes it more desperate.
Dangerous.
So containment itself could be fueling its growth, its hunger.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder if containment is always the answer.
Does it really protect humanity?
Or is it more about protecting ourselves from the knowledge of what these things represent?
From the fact that there are things out there that we may never understand.
This whole thing is really making me think.
Let's shift gears a little.
Okay.
These extreme procedures, the secrecy, the lengths they go to.
What does it say about, the bigger picture?
Yeah.
About what we don't know?
Yeah.
How many other SCP-002s are out there?
Hidden away.
It's a chilling thought.
But fascinating too, right?
Just like we're peeking behind the curtain of reality.
And what do we see?
Something strange and wonderful and terrifying.
Like the universe is a far stranger place than we ever imagined.
Maybe it's better that we don't know everything.
Maybe.
Makes you wonder, are they doing the right thing? Keeping these things locked up?
That's the tough part, isn't it? The ethical side of things.
Yeah, protecting humanity, sure.
Yeah.
But what about, knowledge? Isn't that important too?
Absolutely. Knowledge it's a fundamental part of, who we are.
Even if that knowledge is dangerous.
That's the question.
There's the line.
It's a tough one.
Okay, enough of the deep thoughts for now.
Back to SCP-002.
Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
What are, the key takeaways if you had to sum it all up for our listeners?
Okay, so think about it. Everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
the way this thing looks, so unsettling, right?
Oh, yeah.
And inside the apartment,
The bone furniture, all that.
bizarre.
And then the effect it has on us, on people,
Living people
and how it grows, how it changes.
after those encounters.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the Foundation, how they're containing it.
Those procedures, so strict.
Extreme.
When you
gotta-
put it all together.
It's clear.
Yeah.
SCP-002.
Yeah.
It's a force to be reckoned with.
Definitely not something you want to meet in a dark alley.
Or a well-lit one, for that matter.
And we still don't know.
The big question.
Why? What's it all about?
So many questions, right?
Like, what's the connection to us? To living humans?
Why us?
And what makes it transform?
Yeah.
Is there any way to stop it?
If we could even figure out how it works.
Right, right.
And the biggest question,
If it's thinking
what does it want?
chilling, isn't it?
It really is. It's like there are things out there.
In the universe that we might never understand.
Courses we can't even imagine.
Operating by rules we don't even know exist.
Okay, I think we're officially in creepy territory now.
We might be.
So, time to wrap up this deep dive.
Into SCP-002.
But before we go, I want to leave you with this.
One last thought. If it only reacts to living humans, does that mean it's intelligent? Is there a purpose behind all this? Or is it just, I don't know, some blind biological process?
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. And that's what's so fascinating about the SCT Foundation.
They show us this world, right?
Yeah.
Where the impossible, it's possible.
Anything could be out there.
Lurking around the corner.
It makes you question everything.
Reality itself.
So until next time, keep exploring.
Keep questioning.
And maybe, just maybe, keep the lights on.